Good afternoon, baseball way of lifers. This afternoon, we're going to discuss Darrel Evans. This past weekend, I asked, do you think Darrel Evans deserves serious consideration for the Hall of Fame? A lot of you responded. I'll touch on those comments in a few minutes. Me personally, I do not believe Darrel Evans belongs in the Hall of Fame. Um, Darrel Evans was very prominent when I was a baseball junkie in my teens. Uh, I was 12 in 73 when him, Aaron, and Davey Johnson had 40 home run seasons for the Braves. But even then, I was never impressed with Darrel Evans uh, as a Hall of Fame type player. I thought he was a very good player, but he was never one who made me say, wow, I wish I had him on my team. He got the job done, and he was a good team player, and I'm sure any team would have loved to have him. But to me, he was not a Hall of Fame player. Just looking quickly at his career, he only had, he was considered a power hitter, but he only had 1 year where he had 104 RBIs in his career. And that was in the season I mentioned, 1973. And that's the same year he had 41 home runs. And only one other year did he hit 40, and that was 1985 with Detroit. He kind of revived himself with the Tigers and was a prominent role, played a prominent role in the Tigers going to the World Series. But there are a lot of mediocre years mixed in. The one thing I can say about Darrel Evans is uh, he had a good eye at the plate. Uh, 73 and 74, he had 123 and 124 to 126 walks respectively. So he knew how to draw the walk, and a few other times he had over 100 walks in his career. The thing that kills him is his batting average. He has a 248 career batting average, and his on base percentage is 792 for his career, and his OPS is 119. Now, that's good for a good player, but that is not Hall of Fame worthy. Uh, but yet his name keeps surfacing as one of those players who maybe should get consideration for the Hall of Fame. But then when you look at his uh, numbers, the Hall of Fame monitor numbers, he is in the blank ink. He has an 8. The average Hall of Famer has a 27. Gray ink, he has 82. The average Hall of Famer, 144. The Hall of Fame monitor batting is 42. The average Hall of Famer is 100. Hall of Fame standards, he's a 40. The average Hall of Famer is 50. And he does have a 58.8 career WAR. And the average third baseman out of the top 15 in the Hall of Fame, or out of the top 15 third baseman, has a 68.4. And for those who love the peak year wars, where you take the best 7-year period of a player's career, he has a 37.3 WAR, and the average player, top 15 player, has a 43.1. So there is not one standard where Darrel Evans rises above the rest. So for me, Darrel, you had a great career, but you're not Hall of Fame worthy. There are players such as similar stats when you look at Baseball Reference: Greg Nettles, Dale Murphy, Dwight Evans, Gary Gaetti, Chili Davis, Andrew Jones, Joe Carter, Don Baylor, Torrey Hunter, and Ron Santo that had similar numbers. Now, Ron Santo is the only one that's in the Hall of Fame, and he was put in the Hall of Fame after he passed away by the Veterans Committee, so you're not really sure if he was really deserving, but we could save that for another time and place. Now, as far as the comments are concerned on Darrel Evans, let's see what you guys had to say, and that's always the best part of these videos. Mike Ruby says no, flat out no. Alec Tessitore says better than some of the third basemen in already, and that is true. And he follows up with, he has him over Freddie Lindstrom, George Kell, and Pie Traynor. And when he retired, Alec goes on to say that only Eddie Matthews and Mike Schmidt were the only third basemen hit more home runs. So he was very productive for his position when he played. And he's still fifth, as Alec mentions, in home runs among third basemen. So you do have to take note of that. Third base is one of those positions that really doesn't get the respect it deserves when it comes to the Hall of Fame, and Darrel's the perfect example of that. Bob Elting says, with some of the players have been put in the last 25 years or so, then yes. And I kind of agree with that. If you're going to lower the standards for everyone else, then maybe Darrel does deserve a second look. Sean McElhaney says no, dozens ahead of him. Can't argue with that. And if Patrick Cassidy says, if the Veterans Committee votes him in, I can live with it. I prefer Gil Hodges or Ken Boyer, but okay. And that could very well be the sentiment of many. People don't realize how good Ken Boyer was at third base. And I think Gil, at this point, should be considered because he was a great manager and a player. And sometimes you need to combine both of those. It's just not a playing career. It's not just a managing career. It could be your whole baseball career. And to me, Gil's a baseball lifer, and there should be baseball lifers going into the Hall of Fame. William Miles says absolutely. Dale Quarterman says no. Jim Mize, no. Danny Ball, we got a string of no's coming here. Saute Greg, and pardon me if I can't pronounce these names properly. You can always shoot me a note and tell me if I'm saying it right or wrong. But Saute says borderline, and I think that's how probably a lot of people feel. And I think more are leaning towards the no. And Bagui Gabriel says Darrel Evans had 414 home runs. Are good. That's a good total. However, bad for his batting average lifetime, 248, so I don't think he'll make it in. So he says no. Jeff Tibbs Horowitz comes right out and says 248 should be a disqualification. 248 batting average. Understandable. Dan Shirley makes me laugh when he says, no, I think you're asking about the wrong Evans. And he could be right. Although Dwight Evans is having a tough time getting in too. But me personally, if I had my choice, I would pick Dwight over Darrel. Sal Isidio says no, it's the Hall of Fame, not the Hall of Adequate Guys who once played MLB. Mitch Karen says, does Adam Dunn? The guy was a 255 hitter with zero speed. We'll discuss Adam Dunn in a future time. Craig Judges says, yes, he does. Borderline case. And Matthew Gravely says, no, it's not the Hall of Great. And basically the rest of the comments are almost all the same. But Jeff Cross comes right out and says, both Evans, Dwight and Darrel, I guess should go in. Anthony Coates takes the role of Richard Dawson, says, nice player. But survey says, nah. So that's basically a summary of how you guys feel. It looks like the majority say no. Some say borderline. Some say yes. But it looks like the consensus here is Darrel Evans does not belong in the Hall of Fame. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, hit like. And to get updated on when I post a new video or just able to follow the whole library of videos that I do, subscribe to this channel and you'll see everything. Until we talk again, take care.